Alright, this is the how-to video for Chapter 9 practice quiz. And before we even read question number 1, we want to make sure what are we looking for. And that is, what is the response variable? So what are they looking to see gets changed? So for one kindergarten class in this district, the researcher determines which children already can read simple words and which children cannot upon entering kindergarten. The children are followed until 3rd grade, at which point they are tested to determine the grade level at which they are reading. Those children who were reading simple words upon entering kindergarten were found to be reading at a higher level than those who could not read simple words upon entering kindergarten. Some educators are skeptical as they argue that those students with higher innate reading abilities are probably those reading simple words upon entering kindergarten. Thus, it is not surprising that they are reading at a higher level in 3rd grade. Long story short, what was the response variable? And that is, they were looking and checked at every grade level what their reading was. Okay, so the grade level at which they are reading in 3rd grade. That's what they measured to see if anything remained consistent or not. So, grade level at which they are reading in grade or in 3rd grade. Number 2, in a recent study, a random sample of children in grades 2 through 4 showed a significant negative relationship between the amount of homework assigned and student attitudes. The amount of homework assigned is A, B, or C. Now, they don't really make much comment in terms of what is the response, what is the explanatory, but we can kind of infer from reading this what do we think causes the other. So we have homework causes bad attitudes, or attitudes cause homework assigned. Probably homework assigned will decide what the student attitudes were. So in this case, homework would be what causes the things to change, or assuming that they're going to cause it, and that is the x-axis, or explanatory variable. Number 3, 100 volunteers who suffered from depression are available for a study involving a new drug that is thought to be effective in treating depression. The researchers want to compare the new drug to the drug currently in use. It is believed that men and women may respond differently to the drugs. 50 of the volunteers are selected at random and are given the new drug, and the other 50 are given the drug currently in use. A psychiatrist evaluates the symptoms of all volunteers after 4 weeks in order to determine if they had been substantially improved in the severity of the depression. I read that wrong. I didn't quite read right. Sorry about that. Which of the following is correct? This is an example of a completely randomized design. This is an example of a block design, and both A and B are correct. Now, because they mentioned that men and women respond differently, one would think that this is a block design, so they separated men from women. However, at any point in this, besides that one comment, nowhere in this question do they say that they actually separated them into blocks. So therefore, it cannot be B. They should have, but they didn't. And since they did not block it, they randomly picked 50 and 50, so A is correct. Number 4, in an experiment on a new drug to determine the most effective dosage and method of administration, subjects are randomly assigned to either 5, 10, 15, or 20 of the active drug. In addition, the method of delivery of the drug, pill, skin patch, or nasal mist, was considered. In this experiment, there were how many treatments? Now, in this case, we have method of delivery, which is pill, skin patch, and nasal mist. Now, even though they say it was considered, we're going to interpret this as being that they did consider it. They did do it. It was part of the process. So there are 3 of these. I'm using my mouse, so pardon the writing. And there are 4 dosages. Okay? So we have a 3 by 4. And pardon my writing, I do not have my pen going here. And 3 of those, so we have, let's say, pill, that's a P, skin, and nasal, as ugly as that looks, I'm sorry. And then we have 4 different dosages. We have 5, 10, 15, and 20. I'll just do that. And this grid tells you how many there are. There's 4 across, 3 down, so 12 possibilities, 12 treatments, therefore C. Number 5. In an experiment to determine whether Avon Skin-So-Soft is as good as Deep Woods Off at repelling mosquitoes, a researcher recruited several students and randomly put Skin-So-Soft on one arm and off on the other. The students then were instructed to wander the campus for several hours, not going inside a building. When they returned, the number of mosquito bites was counted on each arm. This is an example of completely randomized would be good in terms of if they held strictly to just randomly picking people. But there's more to this question, and it's right here. Randomly put Skin-So-Soft on one arm and off on the other. So we're having a comparison, okay, between one arm and another of one person. So this is a great example of a matched pairs experiment. And that is it. Good luck on your quiz.